Welcome to the Best Bulls Ranch, Season 2, Episode 31. Let's get into it. Beyond the cuteness of bulldogs, unveiling bulldog growth, structure, and our latest yard and upgrades in the Best Bulls facility. Stay tuned. Bulldog Development, I've gotten to this before, and there's a lot more to it, so I'm going to get a little bit more in detail right now. But too often, I see really cute puppies, and like really cute puppies, quotations, turn into not so cute, and in my opinion, lots of other people's opinion, ugly dogs. And there's a big reason for that. One, when you look at a puppy, I'm going to show you some puppies. When you look at a puppy, every little detail is going to be exponentially bigger as they get older. So I know, and it's harder to tell because they're smaller and they look thick and they're chunky and they're babies, they have baby fat, all that stuff. But just because a puppy's cute, you gotta sort of try to look through that. And if you see the back swooping and a little long, or the muzzle coming out already, it's probably going to get 10 times worse as they get older. And the same thing goes if you see great structure, everything like that, nice back, nice head, nice legs, it's going to get better. And one, this is extremely hard to look at because it's tiny little things you're looking at when you're looking at puppies. So you're going to look at those little details. Also, very important to see the development of a dog, which is going to help you, and the more information you have, the better, is if you know what that line has done. For example, I call it an Escobar line. I call it a Fury line. I call it Mr. President line. And it is a line. But those lines, and just because a dog, comes from another dog doesn't mean it's the same line. So like that specific Escobar line, Escobar is very good at transferring his genes to his offspring. And that's what makes him an amazing stud. And some lines, I'm going to say, let's say Snowball line, this dog that looks really good. I'm making up a name, by the way. There could be a Snowball. That Snowball line, maybe his puppies don't grow up nice, or majority of them don't grow up nice. They grow up long, they grow up lanky. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Maybe that Snowball's mom or dad or both, or grandma or grandpa was really bad, and those are his majority of his genes that he carries. So, and it can be also too, a not so good looking dog can produce very good looking. Depends on the genes that dog has. DNA is very weird. So that being said, the more information you have on a puppy will give you a better determination on what it's going to look like. For example, the puppy, right? The genes, what line it's from. With Escobar, I'm very, and all my studs, I'm very good at being like able to tell you if the dog's gonna look good, not good, whatever. How spot on size I am, because I've seen it tons of times. I've seen Escobar puppies, at 0 days old, all the way up until 5 years old, 6 years old. So I've seen that in the 5 years. I've seen it. And I know how the development looks. I know what to look at in the beginning, and I can compare it really well. So that's going to make a big difference. And on top of that, also, what's going to help you decide on if the dog's going to look good is previous production. If that exact breeding or similar breeding with similar lines, the male and female has been done before. And this is a lot of stuff. And the reason I'm going into this is because I've been seeing a lot of big name bulldog kennels, and I've seen the puppies that they had, and I've been amazed on how bad the adult grows up. Very thin-backed, thin hind end, weak hind end. And that's also something we're going to go into later, is a lot about structure on how it's obviously looks good and super fundamental and critical for the dog's good life and health. So make sure you stay tuned for the full videos when we go into that. That being said, I've seen a lot of very top name kennels. I don't want to throw them under the bus because I'm not about that. Just know that more than one example, because I have a lot of people that will message me about using one of my studs. They want to use Milkman Escobar. We have a bunch of studs. If you're ever interested in stud service, hit me up, DM me, hit my number 305-393-2225. But anyway, I have a lot of people message me about using my studs, and then they'll send me a picture of the female, they'll send me the picture of the parents and who it's from, and I'm just flabbergasted, amazed. I'm like, there's no way this is not You know, I'm not trying to be mean, but this is not a good looking dog, and especially coming from that kennel, that program, and even those dogs. So I wanted to get into this subject a little more because I want to try to put everyone sort of have real expectations, and also help you maybe analyze a dog in the future that you're going to get, and sort of help you pick the proper dog for yourself. And also, like I always talk about picking a perfect puppy, 3 P's to picking a perfect puppy. Pyramid, which the biggest one is the program you get it from. Doesn't matter about anything other than that. The program, the person, the kennel you get it from. Next is the pedigree that you're getting it from, meaning like the dad, the mom, the grandpa, the grandma, all that, the stud, all those things. And then next is the puppy. Most important program, next important is the pedigree, next important is the puppy. Now that I got into that, I want to show some of our dogs and some of the development, and it makes it so now when clients message me about a dog, I can give them a super accurate, to the best of my ability, which I'm using a lot of knowledge from every aspect of the dogs, on what the dog's going to look like. So I can show you Escobar right here as a puppy, 8 weeks, 7 weeks old right here. Doesn't look that good. Then I can show you 11 weeks old. Oh wow, a lot better. Then I can show you 6 months old. Then I can show you now, like to where we are now, to an adult. And you can really see the development of Escobar. And I know too, helps me, because I can look at a puppy and at 6 weeks and it doesn't look good. I'm like, doesn't matter. Escobar look just like that. I can look at Milkman. I can look at Milkman puppy as a puppy. Very nice. To modern day, super nice. And these are pictures of them when they're different ages, and now you get to see, and I get to look back. I get to see now what they are, and now I can see their offspring, and I can give you a way better analysis on what the puppies are going to look like. Fury as a baby, and now older. The Champ as a baby, and then we have lots of pictures of the Champ as he's growing up. He did go through some ugly stages. The Champ right now is 14 months old, a little over 14 months old. Looks friggin' amazing, and he's not even close to being fully developed. Bulldogs aren't going to be done getting thick and getting their full gorgeousness until about two years old. And now we have the Sugar Man. We have him as a baby, getting a little older now, and now it's going to be fun watch him progress. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you don't subscribe, because I'm going to be showing progress of the Sugar Man, of the facility, of everything, trying to share knowledge. If you have any questions, you have any recommendations, please leave a comment. Follow us on all platforms. Hit me up, text, call me, whatever, 24/7. Be careful of scammers. Scammers are everywhere. 305-393-2225. I love you all. I'm always here for you. Don't get scammed. Hit me up. Be careful online. So Bulldog structure is extremely important. And people get Bulldogs. If you're getting a Bulldog, really, you're getting a dog because you want a loving companion, friendship, you want a family dog. You're not getting and you want something that you want because you think they're cute, you like the look of them. You know, let's be honest, we like the look of Bulldogs. But the structure plays a huge role in the dog's overall life, longevity, and well-being, as well as it looks appealing. So I'm going to go real fast, and then we're going to maybe break it down. But so, for example, the back, the legs, the high butt, the face, the head, the shape of the eyes, all these things make the dog look really good. But they also are critical for the health. The back. Why? And this is actually a little like natural lesson. Why do we? This is funny. But normally, as a whole, statistically speaking, people are going to look at stuff, animals, people, everything, from an angle of symmetry and an angle of what looks the best, and that usually computes into our algorithm of what's actually the healthiest. It's funny when you think about it. Normally, people like a fitter, more well-kept dog because that looks healthier. People are normally not going to think that fat, ugly, sloppy dog that's 30 pounds, 40 pounds overweight is the cutest, unless it's your dog and then you think it's cute. But anyway, long story short, let's get back into it. So back structure is so important. When you look at Milkman, when you look at the Champ, they have very nice backs that aren't too long. Their back butt is not high, and their back is thick. When you look at the top, it doesn't come in at the hips. It's thick and strong, which is going to lead to a stronger back, longer life, because the dog's not, hips and back aren't going to give out at a young age. These are all very, very important. Same thing with the legs. Why do we like this athletic stance? Not this stance. This super wide stance is very unhealthy and looks ugly to me, and some people like it. But why do we like this stance? This stance is a sign of strength in the shoulders, in the arms, strength in the joints, better movement, better everything. Feet facing forward. Why do we like the feet facing forward and not out or not in like this? It's better movement, and it looks better too. Easier for the dog to move. Dog's gonna be faster, statistically speaking. And then last, these are my biggest things. Really, the back structure, not too high, nice and thick. The legs being nice, thick, strong, everything. The head structure. And honestly, I like to say this, like at the Best Bulls Ranch, we have that patented head structure. And yes, there's other programs that have this head structure, but not like the Best Bulls Ranch, in my opinion, and not like the consistency what we have, like with Escobar, like Fury, like the Sugar Man, the Milk Man, the Champ. The head structure is amazing. The head structure is more about appealing, not as much about health, unless you have really bad things going on. But with Bulldogs, actually it is, because with Bulldogs, you want that nice big head. It looks good. You want the skull to be big. You don't want the skull to be, and you can see this when now you pay attention, you don't want the skull to be narrow and there be a lot of fat around it, a lot of fat around the eyes, which causes eye problems, causes health problems, everything. You want the actual skull structure of the dog to be big. You want it to be symmetrical, and you don't want an underbite that sticks out. And this is all appealing things. Bulldogs always have underbites, just so you know. If you reach in their mouth, they always have an underbite, but you don't want it to be out. I personally don't like this. Some people do. But at the Best Bulls Ranch, I breed to keep that face nice and compact. But at the same time, not over crazy rope, not crazy on the rolls, because that's gonna there's a limit to it where now you're gonna cause health problems in the future. And all these things I'm talking about are super appealing, but more importantly, good for the dog's health and longevity of life. And these are all things that the Best Bulls Ranch that we breed for. That being said, I want to go into one little topic, so make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the video. I'm going to go into a topic later on how to decide if your dog's healthy enough to breed it and what constitutes why we should breed a dog, because maybe a dog has a problem here, not a problem there, and whatever. I'm going to get into it later, so stay tuned. We try to do everything, and me personally, and just my whole life coming from mixed martial arts and trying to be the best in that, and trying just to be the best and just my overall nature in every single thing I do in every single way, every single day. I take that with everything, and I'm all in kind of person. So the Best Bulls Ranch, I love my Bulldogs. I've had Bulldogs since I was a baby. I can show you, I can prove it. And I've had them my whole life, and I love them. I sort of got into breeding accidentally. I've gone over that whole story before, how I got into it. If you haven't seen it, go watch one of the other Best Bulls Ranch episodes. I think it's maybe 1 or 2. But anyway, I do everything all in. I love my dogs, and I want to do everything perfect in the sense that I want the dogs to be number one, healthy, safe, and happy. That's number one. And then I want to have a big, nice environment for them that goes into the happiness and all that stuff. But as a whole, I'm a very all-in, every type of person, as you can see by the facility, as you can see by the yard, and this all plays a part. And in my opinion, and this is statistics, what I'm talking about, is if you go into a restaurant and you see broken chairs, you see dirtiness, you see the salt and pepper shaker not wiped clean, it's probably an indicator that they don't wipe other things clean. Probably an indicator that the hygiene there is not the best. Yes, there could be a fluke incident, but normally, statistically speaking, you see salt and pepper shakers that are dirty, you see this dirty, and the more things you see messed up, the more chances of qualities going down. And me personally, I love my dogs. I give them the best food. I try to feed them the best. I try to keep their good nutrition. And I can't just do one section of it. I can't have good nutrition and then bad environment. Like, I want my dogs to have the best environment. I want the dogs to have the best yard. I want my dogs to have the best facilities, the best attention, best care with cameras, with people, everything. My dogs are never left alone. And I go over the top of that. And this is some OCD stuff, but it's beneficial. And I believe, honestly, anyone that's crazy successful and anyone that produces very good things, for example, Steve Jobs, for example, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, owner of Apple, whether you like him or not, I have no opinion on liking him or not liking him. He's amazing at producing what he did and was revolutionary because he's so OCD crazy about getting perfect at this thing. And in my opinion, I believe the only time you should ever get something from someone is when they're all in on that thing. Like on anything, you know, like if you're gonna have your house built, you want your house built by a builder that's all in on that on building houses. That's all they do. That's they love. That's what they take pride on, and they go above and beyond to try to be the best at it. And that's what we try to do at the Best Bulls Ranch. And that's why I do these episodes. And if you like the episodes, click like, subscribe, all that stuff. And honestly, it's the only way I know how to be. So just a little word of advice: anything you do in life, when you're going into something, if you see holes in it, you see certain things, you're probably not at the right place. Because if you see, like for example, if you came into my facility and everything is messed up, it's probably a sign that maybe there's more stuff messed up. I don't pay attention to the dogs in certain ways, in the breeding and the puppies and all that. But I take a lot of pride in it. I tried to be even better than what the naked eye can see. And that's the Best Bulls ethics, culture, motto, everything. And just like I talked about with the OCD, with how I like to do everything to the best of my ability, the Best Bulls statues. These statues took a little under a year to get made. Got them custom made, overseas, stainless steel. Every piece is welded together, and it was designed by me and the builder. I would send them pictures. It's designed around Escobar, same height, same length, same dimensions as Escobar. And I sent them the dimensions, I sent them pictures, and we slowly molded it. And so I got these statues made, and they were all gold. I had people like asking about them and then wanting to like purchase one, and then I tell them the price is very expensive. They would like no, and they didn't really understand the craftsmanship. So I had my designer make it. Again, this is raw stainless steel. Every little piece you can see is laser cut and then welded and then polished for hours and then put through the chrome gold process. So there's a like, it's cool because you like, just like with our bulldogs, you see this, but you don't really realize that it used to be pieces of metal, laser cut, hours and hours of work, welded hours of work, sanded, polished hours of work, and then finished hours and hours of work. So much goes on behind it, and there's so much hard work and detail that went to this, and it's just cool. Like it's sort of resemblance of like the Best Bulls, of the Bulldogs, of everything. And we got these little statues that are gonna go in the end of every single stall. Made the same way. I got the before and after those as well too up at the house. But it just shows how much hard work goes in these things, and I want the facility to be the nicest because I just take so much pride in it. And I hope you guys like it and can appreciate the art and the craftsmanship that went into these things. Doing everything above and beyond. I did the sculptures like that too. They look amazing. Let me know what you think about them. If anyone's interested in a sculpture, they are very expensive. I did not get them to sell them. I did get a couple because it's like he gave me a deal, but I think I got 4. But that being said, if you're interested and you want a one of a kind kind of it is a work of art. Hit me up, text me, hit me up on all the other platforms, all that stuff. But statues, I love them. It's something I had to do, having the facility having everything. Just want to have that kind of like, boom. I want to be the best in everything. I want to have the best bulldogs. I want to have the best care. I want to have the best moving bulldogs, the best sculptures, everything. And that's what we're on track to do. So part 1, the Best Bulls yard. Season 2 has been going on. I haven't really talked about the yard that much. In the Best Bulls fashion, above and beyond, doing everything to the best of our abilities with the yard. Insane. It's still currently going on. There's a lot to it, but we wanted to have the best yard possible, and we want to have the nicest facility possible. A yard where the dogs can go run around. They do have their playpen, so they don't go everywhere, but we wanted to make it super nice. This is part 1 where we're going to be showing some of the pre-construction. If you want to, I mean, some of the initial construction and so on. If you want to see more of it, we're going to do a 3-part series. So next episode, we'll do part 2 of the yard. So stay tuned, click subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. You guys made it this far, so I'm gonna give you this bonus clip on how to determine if a dog is healthy enough to breed. So this is a really intricate question. How do I determine if my dog's healthy enough to breed? And honestly, this is a question that every single breeder, every single buddy that ever thinks about breeding a dog should think about first. They shouldn't think about, oh, I know this is gonna sound bad, it might offend people, but they might think, oh, I want to have a son off of my dog, or I want to have a daughter off my dog. Yeah, I understand that you maybe want that, but that doesn't matter. The first thing you're doing is determining, is my dog okay to breed? And there's a lot of factors that go into that. And the overall is that dog an asset to the breed? Is that dog an asset to dogs? In an overall aspect. Yes? Okay, so we go to step 2. Now we're getting in, okay, maybe the dog is okay to breed. Now we're going, does my dog have any critical errors, health problems, aggression problems that I know about? Meaning, is my dog highly aggressive to dogs, highly aggressive to people? Is my dog extremely unhealthy, vet visits, can't breathe at all these things? Those things right there, those 3, 4 things, however you want to label them, will immediately take your dog out of the running. So if your dog has, because maybe you thought about it and you're like, oh yeah, my dog is an asset, and then you're like, well, you know, Bruce is really aggressive to everybody other than me. Well, in my opinion, aggressive dog to anybody, to kids, to other dogs, shouldn't be bred, especially if you're dealing with pet dogs. If you're talking about, like, guard dogs, all the things, it's a whole nother topic. I'm talking about bulldogs and companion dogs. Any kind of aggression, dog should not be bred, period. Any kind of critical health problems, like the dog can't move, dog is 4 years old, dog has been to the vet every month for the last 10 years, or the dog developed hip problems at 2 years old, dog can't be bred. Now, for little things like cherry eye is a predisposed thing that bulldogs are prone to, and I don't think you should ever breed a dog that has cherry eye to a dog that has cherry eye. But that being said, if your dog has little things, for example, the feet are a little bit too wide, the dog has got cherry eye before, which is very hard to fight. And I'm telling you this because I've been 5 generations into bulldogs with no cherry eye, and I've still seen it come out in a puppy. So it's very hard to get rid of fully, but it's something that you can minimize by breeding properly, which I'm going to explain in a second, so make sure you stay tuned for the full video. But I know I'm talking fast. Little things like cherry eye, little things like the feet turned out, little things like maybe a little bit thin here, but overall dog runs great, moves great, super well behaved, all those things. Then I'm going to say, okay, yeah, this dog is an asset. This dog can be bred, but you want to make sure that you use a stud or a female, whatever your dog is, that complements your dog. For example, if your dog did have a cherry eye, you want to make sure that you never breed to another dog that has cherry eye, because it's going to minimize the risk of the puppies coming out cherry eye. It's going to breed out the cherry eye.
Even if you're not going to breed, you don't ever plan on breeding, these are crucial points that you can reverse engineer and use on how to dissect and how to decide who you get your puppy from and your dog from, because these ethics and these morals are huge, and every breeder, every future breeder, every dog owner and every dog purchaser should always know about these things and take them all into account to try to get the best thing for them and the best thing for the dogs.
If you're ever doing stud service, we do stud service here. That's why I say the program's so important, because people, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but this is just the hard truth. People lie. And people lie in the dog business, people lie in every business. And that's why you have to go to a reputable breeder, because if you have a female that has cherry eye, you want to make sure you get a stud that doesn't have cherry eye. You want to ask the stud owner, hey, has your dog ever had cherry eye? And you want to make sure they're honest, because if they're not honest, there's a huge chance that a lot of the puppies are going to get cherry eye at an increasing rate, versus you could help the breed get better if you breed a dog that has cherry eye to a not dog that has cherry eye. And I know some people are going to say, well, shouldn't we breed a dog that has cherry eye? Listen, bulldogs have been their lines for a long time, and if that bulldog passes the other things I talked about, is a really good temperament, healthy bulldog, good structure, all these things, then yes, it should be bred. One little thing like that, I would not breed the dog. So I know I'm going off on a tangent, but you want to make sure your dog's going to be asset to the breed. You want to make sure your dog doesn't have any critical problems, temperament or health problems, and then you want to make sure any little problem, and every dog has little things, you breed that dog to another dog that complements and is as healthy or even healthier and as good a temperament or even better. So I know this is a lot, I talked a lot, dropped a lot of information, but this is super important, and this is the #1 question you should be asking if you're ever gonna think about getting puppies. It's a responsible thing to do. I am a big advocate for responsibility in breeding, in pet owning, in everything, whether you decide to adopt, shop, whatever. They all have pros, they all have cons, but #1, if we all become better pet owners, better breeders, better everything, dogs are better, people are better, everything's better. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace. Thank you so much for watching Season 2, Episode 31. We are killing it here on Season 2, going over lots of information, informative, informational, educational, entertaining videos. Let me know what you think. Follow us on all platforms. We got Tik, we got IG, we got the Tube, we got the Ramp, we got all kinds of things. You'll see them listed here in the video as well. Be super careful for scammers. I always talk about that. We're probably the #1 impersonated dog people in the world, the Best Bulls Ranch. So be super careful. My number is 305-393-2225. Hit me up for anything. I appreciate all my supporters, whether you get from me or not. I don't care. I appreciate you all. If you have any questions, hit me up. I love you all. I'm always here for you. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for Episode 32 and the rest of the content we put out. And in the next episode, we're going to get into our proven method to raising the best mini and micro bulldogs, health, temperament, structure, and more.